What's the verse number? 12, 10, 35, 12. Okay, so that's one mark. So verse number 12 is there. And then we have to do 14 and 15 also. But that's what the purport. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 35, the chapter entitled The Gopis Sing of Krishna. So there's a group of texts, 12 and 13, they together, and there's no purport, and then text 14 and 15, this is a purport. So this verse is on the board, we shall do it together. Text number 12. Saha bala shrak avatam savila saha sanu sushiti brito vrajadevya ashayan yahi Venuravana Jata Asha Uparam Bhati Vishvam. Can repeat? Mataji's? And there's another verse, and then there's 2 more verses to come with the purport. But I'll read the Sanskrit myself. You don't need to repeat the next verse, text 13. Mahad atikramana sankita chetaha manda mandam anugar jati megaham suridam abhya vashad samanobis chayaya cha vidat dad pratap patram. You can say the word for word just for this part. Sabalaha, together with Balaram. Shrak, a flower garland. Avatamsa, as the ornament on his head. Vilasaha, playfully wearing. Sanusu, on the sides. Shiti Britaha, of a mountain. Vraja Devya, O goddesses of Vrindavan, gopis. Arshayan, creating joy. Yahi, when. Venu, of his flute. Ravena, by the resounding vibration. Jatahashaha, becoming joyful. Uparambati, causes to relish. Vishvam, the entire world. Mahat, against the great personality. Atikramana, of a transgression. Shankita, fearful. Chetaha, in his mind. Mandamandam, very gently. Anugarjati, thunders in response. Megaha, the cloud. Suridam, upon his friend. Abhyavashat, as rained down. Sumanobi, with flowers. Chayaya, with his shade. Cha, and. Vidadhat, providing. Pratapatram, an umbrella as protection from the sun. And the translation. O goddesses of Vraja, when Krishna is enjoying himself with Balaram on the mountain slopes, playfully wearing a flower garland on the top of his head, he engladdens all with the resonant vibrations of his flute. Thus he delights the entire world. At that time, the nearby cloud, afraid of offending a great personality, thunders very gently in accompaniment. The cloud showers flowers onto his dear friend Krishna and shades him from the sun like an umbrella. And then this text 14 and 15, I'll just read the verses and I'll read the translation with a short purport there. Vividagopa charaneshu vidagdo venu vadya uruda nija shikshaha tavasuta sati yadhadarabimbe Data Venuran Ayat Svara Jatihi Savamnasa. No. Savanasastad upadarya sureshaha sakra sarva paramesti purogaha kavaya anata kandara chittaha kasmalam yayur anishitta tattvaha. And the translation for these two verses. O pious Mother Yasoda, your son, who is expert in all the arts of herding cows, has invented many new styles of flute playing. When he takes his flute to his bimba red lips and sends forth the tones of the harmonic scale in variegated melodies, Brahma, Shiva, Indra and other chief demigods become confused upon hearing the sound. Although they are the most learned authorities, they cannot ascertain the essence of that music, and thus they bow down their heads and hearts. And in the purport, the words Tava Sutaha Sati, your son, O chaste lady, clearly indicate that at this point Mother Yasoda is among the young gopis as they earnestly describe Lord Krishna's glories. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, among the demigods led by Sakra, Lord Indra, were Upendra, Agni and Yamaraj. Among those led by Sarva, Lord Shiva, were Katyayani, Skanda and Ganesh. And among those led by Paramesti, Lord Brahma, were the four Kumaras and Narada. Thus the best collective intelligence in the universe could not definitely analyze the enchanting musical arrangements of the Supreme Lord. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ajnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked a question by a disciple when the disciple was having some difficulties in relationships with his other god brothers who are also Srila Prabhupada's disciples. So he asked the question about his own consciousness, but not asking directly that it's his own consciousness. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, is there any envy in Goloka Vrindavan? So Srila Prabhupada replied something to the effect, it's not exactly like envy, but it may appear to be so. So the devotee smiled. In other words, he was happy to hear the answer because he was envious of other devotees. Again. And then Srila Prabhupada said something like the analogy. You have two sisters. In the absence of the father or mother, they are sisters. But in the presence of the father and mother, they are daughters. The role slightly changes in its consciousness. So, usually the firstborn daughter is the favorite of the father. That's according to Srimad Bhagavatam also. Okay? And the second-born daughter may get more affection from the mother because the father's favorite is the eldest daughter. So, in the presence of the father, the two daughters may be not envious, may be jealous of each other. So there are three categories of relationships. Two are in Goloka Vrindavan, and one added one is in the material world. So the first mild way is not liking. Not liking. And sometimes even amongst devotees, they may not like another devotee, but there's no reason to it. Maybe they don't like how he eats because he eats too much. Or maybe they don't like the color he wears. Or she doesn't like the way the other one, she walks, like that type of thing. So there's a kind of not liking. We will not even call it dislike. There's a difference between the word not liking and dislike. Dislike is a little bit firm. So not liking amongst devotees may be a karma chemistry. Like you come from your certain set of likes and dislikes from previous actions and the current life also, and from previous life. So it is not compatible to the other devotee. So there's a not liking. That's not bad. It just gives some variety. Then a little bit more intense than that is jealousy. So the father may give more attention to his elder daughter, that's his favorite, at the expense of the younger daughter, seeing that my elder sister gets more attention from Papa. Then there's a kind of jealousy. Okay? But when these two daughters, not with the parents as daughters, become sisters, and they walk down a street. So some unruly fellow may pass some remark, say, to the elder sister. So the younger sister goes up to him and slaps him. You told that about my sister? Because they're very attached to each other as sisters. So there's no jealousy. There's no jealousy. So similarly here, in these two particular verses, the gopis, they glorify the flute. They glorify the flute more than glorifying Krishna. So it's very beautiful. It says, Krishna englades all with the resonant vibrations of his flute. So on his own, Krishna cannot You could say brings some pleasure. He only brings pleasure when he plays his flute. So therefore you'll find in our deity worship also, Krishna's constant attendant is his flute. He even sleeps with the flute tucked in, you know. Yeah. And you know, sometimes the gopis may steal the flute and Krishna becomes pagla. Where's my flute? I know you are with me, but where's my flute? So in these four verses, 12, 13, and 14 and 15, in 14 and 15 they address Mother Yasoda and again they say, O pious Mother Yasoda, your son who is expert in all the arts of herding cows has invented many new styles of flute playing with different tones, different harmonies, different variegated melodies, and so forth. So, when the gopis are glorifying Krishna, especially in relationship to his flute playing, who are they jealous of? Anyone? Who? The flute. Why? Where's the microphone? Give it to him. Prabhu. Oh, you came from Braj. In Braj. Isn't Vrindavan?
Hare Krsna.
You going back to Vrindavan?
Yeah.
I'm also going today.
Yeah.
So why is the gopis glorifying the flute playing by Krishna, but there is a tinge of jealousy for the flute, which is in between the lines here. Why?
Because it touches the lips of Krishna.
Because it touches the lips of Krishna. When?
When he's playing.
When he's playing. In private? He's playing in private?
He's
In public. Touching means he's kissing. He's kissing the flute. It's a kiss. In public. And these gopis are jealous of that. 1 minute. You want to give a comment or you want to give a, you have a question? Questions this now. We'll take questions soon, right? Is that okay? Right now I am asking question. You ask later. Is that okay? You're going to be here till end of the class? We take your question later. You won't forget. Okay. Thank you. You write it down. Write it down. Yeah. Before you forget. Yeah. Prabhupada says writing means remembering. And when you write something, you'll remember, then you can close your book and you don't have to refer to it because you wrote it down. You don't have to refer to it. Writing means remembering. Srila Prabhupada said. Yeah. Now, if the gopis are jealous of the flute, not envious, not envious. This is that envy is non-existent in Goloka Vrindavan. If the gopis are jealous of the flute, is it the fault of the flute? Yes or no?
no.
Why? Who can answer? Somebody said no. Ramrup said no. I can see his lips move. Give Ramrup Prabhu the microphone. Is it the fault of the flute?
Because Krishna is favoring the flute.
Krishna's flute is the favorite even in public, right? He kisses the flute. Yeah. But why is it not the fault of the flute which the gopis are envious of? And not envious, sorry. See, I'm envious, I'm using the word.
Jealous.
The gopis are jealous of the flute and not jealous of Krishna. How is that?
Because they love Krishna.
They love Krishna, yes.
So they have no jealousy of Krishna.
They're jealous of
because
who? The flute?
Krishna is showing more favor to flute publicly.
Krishna is showing more favor to flute publicly. True. But my question still remains. Why should it be jealous of the flute? This is no fault of the flute. And the flute is like an immovable, conscious devotee. It's not moving, only it moves when Krishna wants it to move.
Gopis think that flute has done more tapasya than them. That is why.
So the gopis feel that they are jealous of the flute because the flute has done more austerities to be played and be kissed by Krishna's lips. Good answer. Nice. Anyone else? Why is it still not the fault of the flute, but yet the gopis are jealous of the flute? In these two verses, they glorify in their jealousy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Well, it is the nature of a lover when he sees his beloved sharing love with loving someone else, they become jealous of that person.
That's from material experience. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's not a good answer then. But it's a good worth try. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Yes?
Maharaj, it is not the fault of the flute because Krishna is playing the flute to
Yes.
enchant the gopis.
Krishna is playing the flute, but why is the gopis not jealous of Krishna?
Because Krishna is playing the flute to enchant the gopis, to attract the gopis, to call them.
Gets interesting. So when Krishna plays a particular melodious note in the dead of night in Vamsivat, then the gopis come. That time the gopis are not jealous of the flute. Now he's playing during the day, they're jealous. You're getting closer. You want to say something? What's your name again?
Kushal Bihari Das.
Okay. Anyone else? Mukunda Madhava Prabhu is thoughtful. Give him the microphone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You said I was thoughtful. I was not.
Hold it close. Hold the microphone close.
You said I was thoughtful.
You are thoughtful.
You said.
Yes.
I was not thinking about it.
You were not. So your thoughts were not thinking. Okay, nice answer. It's quite simple. Nobody can be jealous or nobody can be not liking Krishna. But Krishna has a fault. He has a fault. He is not faultless. Because Krishna is an instigator. And Krishna is a cheater. That's false, right? Yes. But why is it that Krishna is an instigator, is a cheater, and is an agitator by playing the flute, right? How is it they're not jealous of Krishna? And the flute cannot do its devotional service on its own. He can only be engaged by Krishna in devotional service by being kissed and played by Krishna. It's a very humble servant. See? And sometimes Krishna may just throw the flute away. And the flute says, well, I'm too fallen to be engaged in service. Then he picks it up, oh, Krishna likes me now. See? So if there's like and dislike from Krishna's side, even for the flute or even for the gopis, but still they do not get that consciousness to like and dislike Krishna. They do not get the consciousness to be jealous of Krishna. How is it? That is called love. That is called love. Because Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, not as the supreme personality of Godhead, not as God, not even as the supreme absolute truth, because he tells lies also. Krishna lies, you know that? No, I didn't steal butter. But he's the absolute truth. Yeah. But Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, with whomever he wants, at any time. So if he wants to agitate, instigate, or cheat the gopis into feeling jealousy towards the other devotees, not envy, that brings Krishna pleasure. He's the supreme enjoyer. See? He's the supreme enjoyer. Prabhu, what's his name again? Hanuman Prabhu, are you in Ram Lila? You know, this is Krishna Lila. So how are you going to ask this question? Give him microphone. He said he had a question.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Gopis are the topmost devotees of Lord Krishna. And Lord says, Advaita Sarvabhutanam. First and foremost quality of a devotee is that he is not envy of anyone.
Not
So Swamiji, please explain how
envious.
gopis can be envious of flute.
You have comment or question? I didn't hear the question part.
Repeat, okay.
Krishna says,
Hare Krishna.
but that verse is from Bhagavad Gita. That verse is from Bhagavad Gita.
That is
yeah?
correct. It is from
Yes,
Bhagavad Gita.
yes. So that's why you're asking the question, right?
Gopis are the topmost devotees of Lord Krishna. And Lord says, Advaita Sarvabhutanam.
He's not envious of anyone.
First and foremost, the quality of devotee is that he is not envy of anyone.
Yes.
So, Swamiji, please explain how gopis can be envious of flute.
I never used the word envy. What word did I use? It's difference.
Jealous.
Two sisters are jealous.
Jealous
Because in the
and
presence of the father, the eldest daughter
one and the
gets...
same.
Huh?
Jealousy and envy is one and the same.
It is not the same.
As per the dictionary.
It is not the same.
The same.
Don't argue. Haribo. The two sisters, right? They may be jealous of each other, but they do not give up the relationship as sisters and daughters. Yes or no? If you're envious, you'll give up relationship. That's the difference between jealousy and envy. In jealousy, you will not give up the relationship. Rather, in jealousy, you want to be more with the other person who's giving favorite to the one you're jealous of. Like the younger sister may be jealous of the elder sister because she gets more attention to the father. But she will not give up the relationship as sister, neither she will give up the relationship as daughter. That is stahiba. That is permanent. But envy cuts you off in your relationship with Radha Krishna. That's different. Is that okay so far, Hanuman Prabhu? It's okay. But now listen carefully. Now to answer your question another way. Advesta, it means envy, right? You quoted from Bhagavad Gita. Right. Now Bhagavad Gita is spoken in Kurukshetra. Yes or no? So why are you speaking about Bhagavad Gita that establishes Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Vraj Mandala, in Vrindavan? So you cannot quote from Bhagavad Gita in relationship to the gopis. Is that okay so far? Yeah. So now I'll give you one exchange. So this solar eclipse, the residents of Vrindavan came to Kurukshetra, then Krishna and Balaram and Subhadra came with their chariots from Dwarka to Kurukshetra. We all know the details, right? Yeah. So Krishna saw the gopis, and the gopis were sort of alone with Krishna. Yeah. Then they said, we heard from Garga Muni. Garga Muni, Gargacharya, who named Krishna and Balaram. said, we heard from him that you spoke something here. And you said, Ye yata mam prapajante tam sateva pajami aham. Just these two lines they quoted from Bhagavad Gita. The gopis are speaking to Krishna in Kurukshetra during that eclipse. Yeah. So Krishna said, yeah, but this is dharma. This is Dharma Shastra. But you said it? He said, yeah, I said it here. It's Dharma Shastra. But you said it? Yes. You are so full of our dharma and you're giving dharma? Then Krishna understood that they defeated Krishna by his own words from Bhagavad Gita. Then they said, we love you so much. We engage in so much service. You let us down. You left us and you went away. And now we have to meet you here. What is this? So you have to eat your own words. You say, Yayata mam prapajanti tam sachevi bhajamiham. As everyone surrenders unto me, I reward them accordingly. We are fully surrendered to you, but you cannot reward us accordingly. You have failed to reward us accordingly. Then Krishna reminds us of that verse. Na paraye aham. There's a full verse for that. Yeah. That yes, you should be content in your own devotional service to me. I fail to reciprocate. So Bhagavad Gita does not apply in Goloka Vrindavan, neither does it apply in Vraj Mandala. But nice you go to the verse, because that advesta is in the material world. For us to get rid of our own envy, to come to the point of the love of the gopis, which may include in its exchanges in terms of being jealous, not envious. Nice. Thank you very much, Hanuman Prabhu. Any other comments or questions? All right. So the gopis are addressing Mother Yasoda. And in the Nectar of Devotion, which is actually a direct verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, this is in chapter 43, it's called Parenthood. And Srila Rupa Goswami, and translated by Srila Prabhupada, gives a description of a Mother Yasoda. And I'll tie this in with the gopis' glorification of these verses. So I'll read this. It's a short paragraph. There is another description of Mother Yasoda in a devotee's prayer. Quote, "Let me be given protection by Mother Yasoda, whose curly hairs are bound with thread, whose hair is very brightly beautified by the vermilion placed in the part, and whose bodily frame derides all her ornaments. Her eyes are always engaged in seeing the face of Krishna, and thus they are always filled with tears. Her complexion, which resembles the bluish lotus flower, is enhanced in beauty by her dressing herself with many colorful garments. Let a merciful glance fall on all of us so that we may be protected from the clutches of Maya and smoothly progress in our devotional service." Unquote. So it is clearly mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami, translated by Srila Prabhupada in the Nectar of Devotion, originally from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that the complexion of Mother Yasoda is bluish. So my question is, how is it that when we see a painting, she is not bluish? Anyone? Microphone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes.
Because she originally she is described as fair complexion, but
Yes.
as fair complexion, but because she is always thinking about Krishna, she became Krishnamaya. Krishnamaya.
Krishna Mahi. That's the name of Radharani.
She assumed the color of Krishna because she is always thinking about Krishna.
Can I ask you a question? Ready? We're churning a little bit. Huh? No answer is incorrect. Even when you said something, it's not incorrect. Right? Who exists first, Mother Yasoda or Krishna?
Mother Yashoda. Means
See, if Mother Yasoda exists first, so surely she's bluish first, right? Ramrup, we are churning your heart. It's nice discussion, you know.
means in this material world,
Ah.
she came first.
In other words, she can appear out of Goloka Vrindavan within a pastime of Leela Shakti of the Lord within the universes. She appears first. True. So you have sort of supported what he is saying. But in Golok Vrindavan, who's first, Mother Yasoda or Krishna?
Krishna.
So that is why you gave the first answer?
Yeah.
So repeat that.
Because of Mother Yashoda thinking of Krishna all the time, she assumed the color of Krishna.
But assuming the color means she was another color before,
Yeah.
what was that color?
Fair complexion.
Pale,
Fair.
fair, like beige, light brown. Okay. So that's very thoughtful from his heart. Ram Rup Prabhu is quite thoughtful at Krishna's heart. Yeah. That's a nice answer. Anybody else likes to contribute to the discussions? In other words, why did Srila Prabhupada give the instruction that when you paint Mother Yasoda, you must paint her this fair complexion and not bluish, according to Rupa Goswami? That's our discussion. So, Ram Rup Prabhu is telling us about Rasa Tattva. But Prabhupada has a particular reason why he's not contradicting Srila Rupa Goswami, and at the same time Ram Rup Prabhu is not contradicting the both colors. He has reconciled it, which is very good. But still, why did Srila Prabhupada say, you paint Mother Yasoda this fair complexion color? Why? You know, there's cowherd boys are also bluish. Eh? You heard of this? So some of the cowherd boys. Anyone likes to try? There's no wrong answer. It's all considering about conscious of Krishna. It's unlimited in its thoughts and our hearts. Okay. Yes, there's two at the back behind Hanuman Prabhu. What's your name again? Janodvip Nitai Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes. The last time when I gave a last talk, you were sitting in the back
Yes, Maharaj.
and you asked a question about Prabhupada. Then I gave answers, Prabhupada here, Prabhupada there. You remember?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, simultaneously, right? I remember him clearly. He was sitting there in the back. Okay, Janodvip Nitai Prabhu. Yes.
As you mentioned,
Hold it close.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. As you mentioned, it is just churning discussion.
There is?
Just churning the discussion.
Good. Go ahead.
I think it is Prabhupada wanted to connect to general public, where whoever sees in the paintings or in the dioramas, they would easily connect to Mother Yashoda, Gopa boys, and develop that loving relationship as friendship relationship with Krishna.
Perfect answer. Krishna must be outstanding in a painting. Must be outstanding. In other words, this is Krishna. See? Except for Uddhava, Prabhupada said you should paint him like Krishna's color because it looks like you can't change that. But in Braj Leela, even the coward boys, no other coward boys are bluish, not even Madhyas. So just to emphasize that within, you could say, emphasize Krishna's supremacy. Even in Leela, people have to accept that he is the supreme within the painting because the paintings are easily accessible to everyone, including those who are not devotees. That's the reason. But within Rasa, Mother Yasoda is bluish. Within sadhana, like preaching to others, she is fair complexion. At the same time, Ram Rup Prabhu gave an answer that she is fair complexion, but she's always in consciousness of Krishna, so therefore she takes on that hue it's called. So therefore Rupa Goswami describes Mother Yasoda in relationship, in love with Krishna. Nice. Hanuman Prabhu again wants to speak. Give him the microphone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Balram is elder brother of Krishna, and once Balram was
Balaram is who?
elder brother of Krishna.
Elder.
Huh.
Nice.
So actually, once he was teaching to Krishna, saying that Nanda and Yashoda गोरे हैं और आप ब्लू ब्लैकिश कहाँ से आया है? वास्तव में आपको खरीदी किया है किसी बेकर को उन्होंने ग्रेन देकर आपको उसके एक्सचेंज में लिया है.
1 second. Translate for me. Everyone else, Hare Krishna. Okay. You may have heard that from somebody, which is fine. It sounds nice. Okay. If Krishna is being teased by Balaram, how come your color is different from mine and I'm similar color to Rohini and Vasudev? That's his parents. Yeah. So how come like that? So Krishna may say, what do you expect? I was born on Amavasya night, midnight. So that exchange may have taken in Boma Vrindavan. Taken in? Because there's Janmastani. See? In Nanda Gokula here. It may have happened, as you're saying, in Nanda Gokula. But it's different in Goloka. In Goloka, you'll see other coward boys are also bluish, and you'll see Mother Yasoda has this color also blackish. It's a little different. I said, okay, thank you very much. Anybody else? Any questions or comments for now? Yes, behind next to you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the very wonderful class.
Oh, Sharad Purnima. Okay. Yes.
So I had a question.
Not Purnima, just Sharad. For now. Sharad? Oja. Oja. Sharad Oja. Okay.
So I was thinking about the previous part. I got a question from jealous and envious.
Now the first is not liking, not dislike.
Yeah.
That's okay. Then jealousy, but
and-
it will not lead to envy. Between jealousy and not liking, if it's amongst devotees, that's okay, but not envy. Envy is, that means you may not be a devotee yet. Yes.
So I have two questions in this. The first,
Ask the first one first.
so is jealousy the source of envy? Is being jealous is the source of envy then?
In the material nature, you could say that not liking is a mild feature that exhibits your envy. And when the envy increases in intensity, it may become jealousy and then envy. In the material sense. But in the spiritual sense, there's only not liking and jealousy. You cannot compare the both. We okay? So in one sense, you could say that envy is like a mild beginning stage of it is not liking. It's like coming up. So before that comes up, you should hit that not liking. So it doesn't turn to jealousy or even to envy. Next question. That's for like making progress in sadhana bhakti amongst the association of devotees.
So you gave example of two sisters, that the elder sister is the elder daughter is more dear to the father. So
And
then
the
you are-
younger daughter is jealous of that.
yeah.
But that's when in the presence of the father. But if there's no father, they are sisters and they're joyful together, they're attached to each other, they're affectionate. They don't give up the primary relationship. Go ahead.
But then still there is a sort of, although they are jealous and is connecting to the first question in one sense,
But they're still connected to one father and mother. Devotees may be jealous of each other, but they may still be connected to Radharasa Bihari. There's nothing wrong with that. But not envy.
but will that relationship, how long it will survive
What relationship?
between two devotees?
The Stahi Bhav is that we are brothers. That's not given up. Or sisters. That's the primary relationship. This other relationship of being jealous is secondary, which answers that I also want to be with the father from the younger daughter. So similarly, if you see somebody else is closer to Radharasa Bihari, I also want to be with Radharasa Bihari. That's nice, but that's not envy.
But is that good?
Huh?
Is that good enough?
It's not a question of being good or bad. It's the nature of variegatedness to increase your desire to serve Radha Krishna.
But then the Madhyam Adhikari, he
No, now you're getting somewhere else. That's within sadhana bhakti. You have to tell me whether you're discussing sadhana bhakti, which includes Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. But if you're discussing bhava and prema bhakti, then the question must apply to which stage. When you say Madhyam Adhikari, that's within sadhana bhakti. You see, when you ask a question, like envy may include jealousy and not liking on the material platform. And that might be coming with that nature into the association of devotees. You understand? So, but you have to get rid of envy, but you cannot get rid. See, it's like this. In the material world, when there's not liking, it can lead to jealousy and that can lead to envy. But when you come amongst devotees, if you have envy, then it can be lesser to jealousy, then it can be lesser to not liking, and then no more. It is the other way around. Because that which you experience in the material world is a perverted reflection of that which is originally spiritual. You understand? Minus envy which is in the material world but not in the spiritual world. Prabhupada also did say to some extent that in the spiritual world there's competition, but not envy. Like the younger sister or daughter may want to compete with the elder sister or daughter for the attention of the father. But they don't give up the relationship as sisters, neither do they give up the relationship as daughters, and neither do the father gives up the relationship as father. That's okay. So we don't want our not liking to lead to envy, to lead to jealousy and envy amongst devotees especially. But if we're coming with envy, then we want to purify that, and it'll be a lesser version of it, which is jealousy, and a lesser version of that, which is not liking, not dislike. And from not liking, you'll become purified and you'll be associating and serving devotees without discrimination and prejudice. That's great. That's within sadhana bhakti. Is that all right? It's fine? Yeah. Somebody had their hand up. Okay, on this. Ram Rup Prabhu. Am I clear?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
When Krishna sent Uddhava, through him he taught Jnana Yoga to gopis to meditate on me. I am in everybody's heart.
No, the Jnana Yoga that he must have discussed is not.
No, let me finish the question.
Okay.
So Mayavadis, they argue that the gopis are the highest class of devotees. Krishna taught jnana after their devotion. So jnana is superior to devotion. Like that they argue. So
How does this connect to Uddhava?
No, he sent this message through Uddhava.
Who sent the message to
Lord
Uddhava?
Krishna sent message through Uddhava. In Brahma Gita, Krishna, Uddhava taught, that he read out the letter given by Krishna.
Yes.
So in that, Krishna taught jnana. You meditate on me. I am present in everybody's heart. There is no question of us being separated and all
Okay.
that.
Yeah, then?
So in this regard, Mayavadis, they argue, just see, jnana is superior to bhakti.
Yes.
Do we
The
answer?
Mayavadis are not devotees. Yes or no?
Of course, but
Yes. But the Mayavadis, we have to be convinced they're not devotees.
yeah.
Right? For us, right? That's one. So you are trying to ask a philosophical question which is not understood by the gopis. Because for the gopis, it's like this. I'll answer it in another way. So either you're in the Mayavadi camp or you're in the gopis camp. So which camp do you like? Gopis, naturally. Yeah. The Mayavadis are kind of useless in whatever they say. We don't even want to listen to what they say. That's fine. But for the sake of the question, like that. So one time, Garga Acharya, Garga Muni, he's known as like the main Purohit or the main Rishi that comes to Vrindavan for the Brijvasis. He comes here. So it's also in the Krishna book, you can read to some extent that. So Garga Muni was giving a discourse. Yeah. So Srimati Rarani and her Gopi friends with Lalita Vishaka, they also have to, they're like forced to go, not forced in the sense of the material force, but they have to go with the family for the katha. Yeah. So Gaga Rishi is explaining the incarnations. Like Vamana, Varaha, every day for the katha. Yeah. So Radharani and the gopis, they sit in the back. Yeah. But they have no interest in what Garga Rishi is saying. They're thinking, when will this thing get over? We have to meet Krishna, we have to do other things, make garlands. They're not really interested in that. See? So Gaga Rishi knows that because his attention always goes towards Srimati Radharani. He knows what's happening. Yeah. But he cannot reveal because he's not in the bhav, because he's in the bhav of Jnana Bhakti, giving knowledge about Krishna's different incarnations. At the same time, Gaga Rishi is a devotee. He's different from the Mayavadis that you explained. See? So, Lalita and Visha, when will this be over? It's so boring. Who wants to hear about a fish, or about, a dwarf, Come on, we have our Sham, So, maybe we'll even get late what if he takes questions, and then late for like breakfast prasad or something, Okay. So they become uninterested. And that's exactly what happened to Uddhava. When Uddhava was explaining these things, he saw they were bored, not working. So that's when he understood they're super excellent devotion and relationship with Krishna. So Krishna did not send Uddhava to pacify the gopis. Tell us what the reason now. Tell us.
Because Uddhava was very proud that he is a disciple of Brahaspati.
Yes.
He knows everything.
Yes.
So, in order to teach him pure devotion,
Yes.
Bhava Bhakti, what gopis have devotion for him,
Yes.
in order for him to see their devotion, he said.
Good. That the Mayavadis won't accept. See? So Uddhava's sort of jnana bhakti in relationship to Krishna, which is also in terms of Garga Rishi, the gopis become bored. But Uddhava realized, wait, hold on. These people are too simple for me. They're too simple. So simplicity is the language of the heart in bhakti, which the jnanis and the yogis and the rishis and the Mayavadis will never get. Simplicity is the language of the heart in bhakti. Thank you very much.
Thank you, I got the answer. Means Krishna wanted to show to Uddhava that they are not, gopis are not interested in any jnana.
Yes,
That
yes.
is why he gave this jnana filled letter.
Exactly, to purify him. In the sense of the Leela, although Uddhava is pure all the time. Yes. Nice. Very nice. Yes, so remember, simplicity is the language of bhakti from the heart, which is the main thing for us. Life becomes simple. So for Prabhupada, simple living and high thinking. So high thinking is part of sadhana. But if you simply live without even high thinking as they do, the gopis, then it's simply love. Thank you very much. We'll end here for now. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Kori Vaishnava Vrindaki, Natai Go Premanande.